Check, check. All right, that's working. Very cool. Howdy, folks. My name's Dave. I'm a wood turner. I started this channel to become a better teacher and a better demonstrator to help other turners become better turners. I really enjoy teaching, but also to become a better turner myself. The more I talk about the processes, the more it cements it in my own head. So that helps me become a better turner as I go. So I'm always working to be the best turner I can be, and I have a lot of fun doing it. So thanks for joining me. It's Wood Turning Wednesday. We're going to start off with a pen. Since I had everything set up from last night, I thought it might go a little bit quicker as I was talking last night while I was streaming about, let's see, I guess, without having everything set up, I don't have a dedicated setup, so pulling tools from different places. But if you had a setup, I imagine you could turn out pens pretty quick if that's everything you had was right there. I don't turn a lot of pens, so my tools for that are usually put away, tucked away. I know where all my little spacers and some kit parts, and then the other stuff I need, drill bits, whatever, I know where that's at. I just don't often pull it out. But I have a friend who is learning to turn and is turning the occasional pen, is working on other cool stuff. So I wanted to turn some pens since it's not something I've done on the channel yet. So let's get started, eh? So what I have here on the lathe is a piece of oh, come on, Dave. Starts with an L. It'll come to me. It will come to me. For some reason, it's just not. I had it right there on the tip of my forebrain, and now it's gone. Anyway, this is a very dense, and fairly oily wood. They used to, Romans, yeah, I'm sure it wasn't just the Romans, but this particular lignum vitae, there we go, starts with an L, was used for like ball bearings and stuff back in the day. So it's a very durable hardwood, and I would like to turn a pen out of it, man. Last night I did a CA finish, and today I'm going to do a friction polish instead. So I've got the blank in my pin jaws here. I've got a line mark. That's basically the halfway mark. And I'm going to drill it from both ends. I'm going to flip this around. And if I am looking at these tubes here. So this kit that I'm turning today is the European kit. And as long as the long one works, I mean, I don't have to cut it right there. I'm only just drilling halfway through and then flipping it around. I can cut it anywhere. I just wanted to see how close that might be. And that's pretty close. Leave me not much to take off. So we'll go through the whole thing step by step. I've got all the pieces, parts here. Now, I got this kit from my friend Joe, and he said that he did not like the finish on this, and I can understand why now that I have the package opened. This particular finish is very sticky for some reason. So it's even sticking to the little bag that's coming. I had to remove the center band and then the tip, but these are kind of sticky, and I'm not sure what that's all about. If maybe they didn't cure all the way before they put them in the package, so I'm going to be careful with those and hopefully not remove that finish because yeah, it's very, very, I should say it's tacky. Maybe that's a better term for the feel of it. Like the finish just either didn't cure, or oh wow, it's on the outside of the pin clip too. That's very tacky. Well, he did warn me I might not like the finish, so there's a possibility that I might not like the finish here. We'll see what happens. Maybe it just started going bad in the bag because I don't know. It had, maybe just guessing. Maybe there was some kind of chemical reaction with the plastic against the finish. I can feel the tackiness coming off in my hands here on my fingertips. So maybe if I rub that tackiness off it, maybe that was meant to be like some kind of surface protectant. I don't know, man. That doesn't really make sense to me for use like that, because it's just very, very tacky and everything is sticking to it. Let me address these really quick. Try to save myself some hassle later. And get that stuff off my fingertips. And let's just rub these down here and try to get that rest of that tackiness off of there. I was worried that the black colorant would come off too. I don't know what that is, if it's a paint or like an acrylic coating or something like that. I don't know. It looks like it's just a paint, but for some reason or another, maybe there was a clear coat or because there was no protective film. So maybe the clear coat went bad. I don't know. It's just really weird. I know he hasn't had the kit for very long, so I can't imagine it would be, 15 years in storage or whatever. I mean, that's not how long he's had it. But. So I don't know. Maybe they got a bad batch of finished. What do you call these things? Accoutrements. So maybe this will. Like I say, save some hassle later. I'll try to be really careful with them too anyway, because if there's a possibility of that coating coming off, then I will probably want to take all of the coating off so I don't have these streaks. It looks like there's chrome underneath, or at least chrome on that band. I'm guessing that it was chromed first and then they masked that off somehow. So there might be chrome underneath it, and then that would definitely show up. But even the metal, I think, would too. Let's take a look at this guy. Yeah, I think it was chromed. Well, anyway, let's get the rest of this stuff cleaned off. So I don't want to use like any Goo Gone or anything like that, because I'm worried about it taking off that darker finish. The heck, I may have to. It's like almost like it just peels right off. Like a rubber cement kind of deal. I want to lean it up against that wood there because the tip is kind of sharpish. I don't know how well I'm doing here. I may just have to use the Goo Gone. I'll grab that really quick. I'll be right back. If it takes the finish off, I'll take it off all of them. Right here. So a little bit of this stuff. See how that does. Alright, seems like it's taking it off okay. Let's get the end cap while we're at it, because it is also very tacky. I'm sorry to walk you through this, I guess, or not sorry to walk you through it. I had just opened the package and was looking for spacers to match the center band out of my collection, and felt that band was like really tacky, and started looking at the rest of it, remembering what Jill had said. I thought it was because and it may be, the coating is super. Yeah, I've already got some of that coating off, so we may wind up removing the coating. Don't know yet. A little bit more of that stuff. Doesn't feel like there's still some on here. Well, it's taken off a little bit of the black. So I guess I'm just going to say it was a really bad finish they got on this production run. Oh, watch where it goes. Okay. Got it. That's one, and that fell in the shavings. Let's put these back in the bag so they don't also fall into the shavings. And we'll get started drilling this blank once I get that end cap back. In theory, come on, it fell right under here. Where is it? Can't have gone that deep. What's that? Save that. Found a nut. Hex nut. Not sure what that's from. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna kind of sift some of this really quick. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm just, there it is, rubbing the shavings between my hands, because just in case it was tacky enough to stick to the shavings in a way that I couldn't see it. Alright, we got a hold of her now. I can see some of that tacky stuff that's still on it, because it did pick up some sawdust off the floor. So let's try to get that off. Because we want the finished pen to look as nice as possible. Okay, put that into the bag for safekeeping. You know, I better just put that back right there. Alright, so I had turned this around between centers to start with, so I've got my points right in the center there that will help this brad point get started. And the instructions, they suggest 2,000 to 3,000 RPMs. But I usually drill at 400 regardless of the speed. They say, I guess, I can see where 2,000, 3,000 might be like the regular drill speed, maybe fast, maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, turning at 400 works just fine. Just want to back out and get that out of the flutes, clean the flutes out, clear the hole. And I guess I need this light now. I can read my quill here. So if I'd had, and especially for new turners, if I'd had like two smaller blanks, or this was a square blank, I forget what I had. I was using it for something else, finials or stuff like that, handles, and I really like the look of the wood. That should be about right. But I didn't feel the need to cut it down to length, but it would be a lot easier. And that's why I'm doing it, turning it. I'm only drilling halfway and turning around and drilling through. I'm going to part it off somewhere in the middle, and that will be okay, even if the drill bit wanders a little bit. As long as I part it off here, I'll have two true holes on this side and two close to true in theory on that side. If they're not actually true, I'm hoping that they actually drill through true, but we're going to find out. Drill bits can wander with the grain of the wood. So it'd be easier for newer turners, I guess the main point is, it'd be easier for new turners just to cut the blanks to, you know, what length you need and then drill them. It is a little bit easier. And I don't really want to try to bottom out this drill bit. Let's make sure that's still running true. Excuse me. Anyway, today, if I hadn't mentioned it, today I'm turning the European pen kit. Oh man, and I forgot that I had printed. I was going to print the instructions for it yesterday. I found out that I did not have enough ink in my printer for it to want to do anything. So I picked up the ink today. Was a little surprised by the cost of ink. But we got to work in printing. There's plenty of ink in the printer now, and I printed out a page. I should probably run up and get it, so I don't have to keep, because I have it open on my laptop too, the PDF. And if I just grab that paper, then I can just refer to it back and forth without having to swap screens on the laptop. So I know these tubes are 7mm, and that's what this drill bit is. But I still like to double check the fit, so I know I have a decent idea of what kind of glue up I'm going to have, because the brass tubes need to be glued inside. Alright, so I'll definitely have to use a thicker glue. No worries. You can also use epoxy and apparently Gorilla Glue, I understand, works really well. I've only ever used CA glue. Well, no, well, yeah, only ever used CA glue. I was going to say not necessarily, but the epoxy I did use was to make the blank itself, so that doesn't really count. Alright, so let's see. I've got plenty there to work with. I still want to straighten that out, clean this edge up, so let's draw a line here. Just for fun, we'll get the long tube. I think it should fit. I tried to measure it from the other side. Didn't I have a line? Nope. So I really just need that much, and that's probably overdoing it, because I'm going to have to trim the ends. And I'll show you how I do that when we get to that point. So I think that right there is a good line to work with to part it. This is a really hard wood, and my pin jaws don't really like clamping down onto hard stuff. And I thought I should bring this up because I was looking at Craft Supply, because I got an email from them about their Black Friday sale. Anyway, I was looking at well, actually I forgot what I was looking at, but I stumbled across Chucks. I'm like, oh yeah, I should see, because I bought these from PSI Woodworking a few years ago. Hold on one second, please. All right, sorry about that, folks. My youngest boy was calling me, and he forgot I was streaming tonight. So I'll give him a call later. Okay, so that is basically the area I need to part in. And thinkety think, actually, why don't we just do it this way? I got my lines. And it is okay if the blanks aren't perfectly square, you know, to get the glue up going. Let's save that guy, because we are going to true them up, and like I said, I'll show you how I do that when I trim the wood down to the length of the tube. Put that in that bucket. So now we do the glue up part, and I don't need this guy right now. Grab the brass tubes. Now, sometimes these kits will come with the brass tubes already sanded, textured, whatever. This set did not come this way. This is smooth brass, so I need to rough up the surface to help the glue adhere to it. I could see, you know, having creating your own pen kits and stuff like that. I know that's a possibility. Whoops, you stay put there, Bo. There are quite a few pen turners out there, and it doesn't take a very large lathe. I did see one pen turning lathe that was about the same price as a Rikon Midi I bought. So I don't know that if I was going to do that, you know, I mean, I don't know. I would like suggest to people, I guess, if that's all you think you're ever going to do is turn pens, then a pen turning lathe is pretty cool. They usually have what, like 10-inch swing, I guess. But the Rikon I got, it's got a 12-inch swing with a 1-horse motor at about the same price point. And so if that's where I was headed, that's what I would suggest to people is, you know, really do shop around. So you can see the arrow bit did wander a little bit in the longer section, but that's still enough meat there. And, you know, I'll have to true these up anyway, but there's still enough meat there that I can turn the pen fine. I don't want to go through the wood and hit the brass. All right, let's get these guys set in here. See, that's the long one, right? Yep. So what I usually do is I'll take asphyxiate glue and I'll run 2 or 3 lines down the whole length, almost the whole length of the brass tube. Rather than trying to slather it all over the tube itself. If glue's going to come out, it'll seal up. I may have to get another bottle of thick glue. This may have gotten too thick. I have it set up, it's just flowing really, really slow. Or read not at all. I wonder, let me grab a tool here. It could be that it's, yeah, it was. Maybe. Clogged up a little bit. Which is why it didn't want to come out. Let's try that again. Yeah, nope, I'm gonna have to work that out. Because that is in the way. I thought I had a toothpick here. I don't. Be right back. I'm going to grab a toothpick that I can get down in there. Come on now. Sure enough. Oh, and I should grab a pair of gloves too. I don't like messing with this stuff with bare hands. Well, I got a lot of, it's not so much there now, some of it's come off, but I got a lot of CA glue on my fingers yesterday doing a CA finish. On this hand anyway. This hand I wore gloves, but at a couple points the glue was getting so hot when it cured that it melted the gloves I was wearing. All right, so we should be good to go here now. Let's wait for it to get. There we go. I thought. I may not have waited long enough for it. Yeah, I didn't wait long enough for it to dribble down or run down to the bottom of the. All right, so I usually just run 2 or 3 lines. In this case, it's 2. And then when I run the brass in there, I twist it all the way around to get the glue all the way around it instead of trying to slather it on, because I'm always going to wind up with a little glue on the outside, and if I try to slather it on, I usually wind up putting on too much. And then I'll scoop that in just a bit. All right, so that one's in. I'll do this one next, and then I'll hit them with accelerator. Scoop that guy in just a little bit. Okay. And we'll let that set up for a few seconds while I put this. I don't think I need this glue again, so I'll put it inside for now. Plus, it gives an excuse to give time to the accelerator there to do its job. Because the next step is to put this on a mandrel. Before I do that, though, clean off that accelerant. Okay, so I have PKM S2 set mandrel. Yeah, let me grab the other one. I actually do have it right here. Yes. So this is the first mandrel I bought, and this unscrews, tightens down. It's got a collet in it, so you can adjust the length of the main rod. And it sits there in your headstock Morse 2 taper. And then you put your blanks in there with the spacers and all that, and tighten everything down with this brass knurled knob. You've only got about an inch of thread, so however many spacers and wherever you got to move this thing around is fully adjustable. The only issue I ever had with it is that it's got a dimple in the bottom that's supposed to ride on the point or cone center, whatever the point of your tailstock, and this can move. And if you have too much pressure against it, which I didn't learn right away, I learned a little bit after the fact, that this will flex, and so I wound up having a couple of my first pens going through or having thin sides because this would flex. So I keep this for possible use in the future if I need it. Don't know what for. It won't be for pens, but it's still a useful piece of equipment. Got these both from PSI Woodworking. So this is the second. This is the 2 set. Come on out of there. And it has a fixed rod. Fits in the tailstock. And it has some kind of a little bit of a wiggle room because of the length of the rod and the diameter of the rod. But it has this live center that's got a hole through it, and that fits all the way onto the rod, and it gives it a lot more support than the other kit. And so I really like this one a lot better. I can't remember, and it doesn't matter if I remembered anyway, because when I bought these was like, I don't know, 6 years ago, something like that. I don't know what the prices are for these things, but the price between the two was like maybe $5 difference when I bought it. So, like 25 and $30 or 35 and 40, something like that. So it's not expensive. My suggestion to anybody that is interested is that you get this guy to start with. There's less of a learning curve if you've never turned pens before or whatever. There's less of a learning curve than with the other one because the other one does have flex, or a lot more flex. All right, so first things first, I want to double check because my ring, my center band for the pen, is going to be glued on, but I don't want it super proud of the surface of the pen because it is a really wide diameter ring. So I want to turn the center of the pen to be that diameter or close to it. I think I found, there's one. So these two. So this one's a little bit narrower, and we'll call that the back. Oh wait, I forgot, I gotta true these up first. So this one's a little bit narrower, and then I'll slide these on. Let's put that guy away. I'll slide these on. I'll need to double check where the point goes on, because I think that one's going to be too wide. But basically, I'll put these on the lathe the way that I want them to appear in the pen. Match up the grain here. I may have it backwards. There we are. Found it. So I will want to, yeah, definitely have to turn these up. I got a little bit of glue that's getting in the way of getting these slid on in the first place. So yeah, that grain matches. Okay. So I will have these on here with the spacers in between, in the middle. And I'm going to put these spacers on now so I don't lose them. I need to swap that one around that way and that one around that way. And we'll get to those in a sec. So let me set that aside because I did not remember, jumping ahead there, that I need to true these dudes up. So I was pretty sure I grabbed my Jacob's chuck, but I may be... Oh no, what I grabbed was my sanding disc. So I made a little platform for my banjo, just a 1-inch dowel that I can replace anytime. It's just pressed in. A little piece of countertop Formica, if it ever needs to be replaced. There's my disc. And they do make barrel trimmers. They make all kinds of tools for turning pens. I don't do enough of them to buy the rest of that stuff. It would just be like the rest of my pen kit stuff. It'd sit around for a long time, and I don't know. You know, there might be a time. Oh yeah, I need that guy too. There might be a time where I turn a bunch more pens. I don't know. It's not typically a pen turner now. So I'll put my keeper in there. Make sure that my Jacob's chuck does not come out of the headstock. Get this guy set up. And then I'll just run this. Keep spinning the blank so that the face stays fairly flat. And I'll just use my lathe to sand it down. I think I need a new piece of abrasive. Yes, I do. And that was 180, so let's grab another piece of 180. I want a clean face on this guy when it's turned. I don't really, you know, it doesn't have to be like a buff shine or whatever. It's just got to be smooth, because this is where the pens are going to fit together or be capped by one end or the other, so they won't normally be visible. I still want it to look nice. I don't want to look all nasty, but I don't have to be super fastidious about it, because that part's going to be mostly hidden. You know what? I'm going to grab my mask too while I'm at it. Okay. So it might grow a lot faster with barrel trimmers. I don't know, I'm guessing. I've never used one, but I could imagine it would. Especially in a drill press. Just one blank after the next, It'd be just like an assembly line. So I want to get just to the end of the brass tube. I don't want to like cut the tube itself any shorter. because the kit is designed around the length of these tubes. There we go. I think that's pretty good. Let's hit that again. I may have to go to a coarser abrasive. This wood is really hard. Getting there. But this is also a way to utilize your lathe more, for more than just turning a piece of wood around or giving it shape and all that. Try to maximize all the tools that I have. Not quite, almost. I have tried in the past. Let's get a little bit more coarser abrasive. Oh, actually, I didn't. Nope, that's pretty running down. All right, I'm going to grab a piece of 150 here, or maybe several pieces. Anyway, having this flat platform parallel to the floor gives me a good surface to start working from. I'm sure I'm probably not exactly 90 degrees, but it gets me close enough. And again, I'm just working to the end of the brass tube there. Ooh, that end is warm. Probably should have chosen a different wood, but it is what it is. So sorry. Hopefully this isn't too boring, but this is all part of it. You gotta trim that dude up. I think with a wood that maybe wasn't so hard, let sand faster. And hey, now's a really good time to put a plug in for my YouTube channel. I save all of the broadcasts and port them over to my YouTube channel so you can watch them over again or catch broadcasts that you missed. That's number one. Just dropped a tool rest. So we'll start the count now. Hopefully the count stays at one. All right. So we're done truing the ends up. Now we'll need to true the blanks up. I'm surprised that stayed in place. All right, there we go. So I don't need this anymore. Don't need this. Okay, now we can bring this guy online. Now this one is supposed to be the top. Oh, let's line up that in. Da, 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 da. Because I'm sure I've gotten it turned around. There we are. I think. Yep, that's it. Slide that on. We'll get. Make sure I want this guy. And then the last one, oh yeah, that's right, I was going to double check that. Oh, I didn't lose the mask now too. The dust is settled. Alright, let's take a look at, where'd you go? I got you right here. I want to take a look at this spacer to make sure, because I need to bring the end of the pen down to basically about that diameter of the outside. I should hold it closer to this camera, I guess. That outside diameter of the tip. And that will be a shade too big. See, that one went there. How about this one? Shade too big. Too small. Not you, dude. Nope. Like I say, I've got several different spacers from different pin kits. Uh-oh, I almost got stuck. So I'm thinking I'm bound to find one that matches. At least if it's a 7mm. Actually, there should all be 7mm holes at least, because the mandrel itself is. So, how about you? Just a little small. We'll go with that one. So we'll put that guy on there. Put this back. And now we'll turn the pin. So I'm going to lose that guy and get my, excuse me, longer tool rest out. Well, maybe, let's see, with that 6-inch rest work. Oh yeah, that'll work. Oh, but I can't use this with that. So, how about the finial rest? That'll work. I'll just have to move it. Don't want to do that. So, I guess we're back to this guy. Alright, let me find my center where I want it. Needs to come up just a bit. Now, we'll slide this guy home. And I want to tighten the quill down just enough to get where it's difficult to turn the pieces of wood by hand. I want that compression enough to, when I apply tool to wood, it won't just spin. But not much more than that. I don't want to introduce, I want to make sure I don't introduce any kind of flex. It is a through hole and all the pressure is this way in the center, but I want to make sure as much as I possibly can. So I think it was this one that was, nope, I was wrong. Is that one was a little bit out. Like that. Tighten it down a little bit more. I just need to work my diameter down. That's how you want to be cut. All right. This is some mighty hard wood, but it'll take a finish off the tool really nicely. I'm going to hone this guy. I think that might be giving me a little bit of trouble too. It's sharp, but it's not quite cutting right, so there might be a little bit of a burr or rolled over edge here. So let's just hone it. Oh, and I'm turning at 400. I can speed it up. guess I really have to speed it up. But start to profile this guy a little bit. That's about right. So this is going to be a little bit thicker pen than I thought originally, I guess. Now I see it. Been a while since I turned wood this hard. Heck, bone turns easier than this. Let's see, let's work a little bit more. Just trying to get down to where my canvas is at, if that makes any sense, where I can actually start doing a little bit of shaping. Why is that running that way? Ah, okay. She definitely wants to be cut this direction. With the skew, anyway. And I do need to take that down just a little bit more. Trying not to take it down all the way to that diameter, because that diameter is still just a little bit small for the tip. So I think that should be okay. That's a little bit. So it is important to get the right spacers, because the spacers are going to give you the dimensions you need for all the parts to fit together properly. And you pretty much float your tool right across. Okay. So let's take a look here. I think I will sand it really quick before I go any further. I'll do with that. Easy there, cowboy. Stop throwing things on the ground. What's that? That's not the right grit. Yeah, let's go with this. All right. So that's a little bit too much pressure there. Set you over there. And now I can throw down some elements here. Oh yeah, I do need to, you know what, since I'm right here, well no, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab that paper, so I have the printed paper out. I've got to make a tenon to fit the collar, the center band over, and it needs to be the the inside diameter of the collar itself, but about a 1/4 inch long on the end of the of the short piece. Why aren't you? Okay. So this do say cut a 1/8 inch wide tenon on the end of the short blank and size it, so yes. So I will want to take all this off. For now. Get that down there. Set these aside somewhere they won't roll off into the shavings. And grab center band. Will that actually fit over that? Oh yeah, heck yeah, all right. Then I don't need this. Set you over there. So this is another reason why I really like this mandrel. And get it right up there. That'll do. Well, that doesn't make much sense there, Dave. Because I don't have any wiggle room, so I'll just take it down to that diameter, since that diameter seems to work. Parting tool. We don't want to cut too deep now. We don't want to get into the brass. I just want to be able to fit the collar on, because I'm supposed to glue it in place according to these directions. It's really close, but let's take this, measure this dude. Say right there. Okay. Let's test that guy out. Just a little bit more. But my diameter, my depth, I need to take a little bit more off that too. All right. So I'm going to want to sneak up on this. I don't want to take too much off because then that ring placement will look kind of weird. Just a little bit more, but my depth is almost spot on. If I clean that edge up, I should be okay. Let's do it this way. And we'll take a slice and cut right there to get that. Good 90-degree pocket for it. And I need to work this down just a little bit. I want to sneak up on that size, like I said. Don't want to overshoot. I mean, it wants to go. Maybe if I chamfer this edge a bit, it could still be a slightly, diameter's slightly too big. Well, now I can leave this on there actually, since I'm using that guy. That's pretty snug. Okay, cool. And I think I probably, oh, that's very snug. I'll take a little bit more off the right there. It seems to taper up just a little bit. I think I want it this way instead. And for that, I'll grab my 1/4-inch skew so I can get right into here. There we go. All right, let's take a look at the end and see if I've got to take it down a little bit more. I'm not sure. If that's seated home, I mean, that is really close. It's just the tiniest bit of a lip there, so let's just bring the skew up. Take another slice and cut. just a little one. There we go. That will do. That is now flush. Cool. Okay, so I want to do a little bit of design here. I can leave that in place. Actually, I'll use a different. Choose this guy. And a little bit here on this dude. And now I will use this guy. And I need to get in there a little bit tighter. Just make sure that that is set. I think I just raised it. Yep. There we go. Okay, let's take a look how long this clip is. And that cap, oh, I need to round that down even more, don't I? Yes, I do. Come here. So that extends almost the whole length of the barrel, so that is a non-issue for what I want to do in there. I've got to take this apart. Is that the right diameter? Nope. I think that one actually is the right diameter down here. Yep. So we'll just turn that guy around and I'll turn it down to that diameter. At least on the end. So if we take a look at this cap. So we want this to look good, right? We don't want it to look weird and shoddy. So I really don't have to take it down too much. And the clip has to fit on the barrel too rather neatly, so I'll just do that with my spindle gouge. Come on. Let's see, we'll run that one, we'll run into there. Boom, 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 and then I got that guy, and now we're set. I think. I lied, I'll use my screw. Maybe a little bit more than that. Okay, so now I've got that done. Now I can work on here. And again, we'll go back to the skew. I want to put just a little bit of a cove in here. There's a lot of pressure to use these tools. Let's do that a little bit. Sanding. There's definitely not the turning pins. There's no doubt about it. And I know that there are pin turners that make a really good living. But I think they kind of like design their own pins too. And I'm not sure that they do it from buying whole kits, but I really don't know. I do know they sell the tubes in longer lengths so you can trim down to whatever size you want. So I'm very much imagining that there is tool sets and support for people who want to turn pans. Alright, so I'm going to do, let's see, I'm going to do a couple of beads here. And we'll just do some running beads. Down to the center, go halfway across, there we go. So the center of the middle bead is at the center of the cove. And this off. I did that really long enough. I think I'll leave that alone. That part's done. Now, let's see, I think like right up here. I'll make these beads a little bit wider. And we'll just do 3 beads on that side. Let's run it over. Let's get that cleaned up right there. And then just a little touch up with this guy. And now we're ready to do the finished sanding. So I'm going to start off with 220 and work my way up to probably 400. And then we will use 220, right? Or use 320. 220. And then we'll do a friction polish and put the whole thing together. do want to make sure that I don't goof that up any. So we'll take that off. So I kind of like to put little details down underneath the pockets clip. I just think it looks cool, and it's not. Usually, what I've seen, the designs are like on the opposite side of the pocket clip, where there's some canvas there, so to speak. The pocket clip doesn't get in the way. But this way, my little turn beads go all the way around the pen, and it doesn't matter where. Because the pocket clip is going to rest somewhere right in there when it's not in the pocket. It's going to bypass all that. So that we'll be able to get into the shirt a little bit easier. And I'd like to think it holds a little bit better, but that's just a guess on my part. And with the color of this stuff, I'm really looking forward to the friction polish. It's going to really make this pop, I think. Now, I got the original idea for friction polish from watching Captain Eddie Castling. And he's put online the formula for what he calls OB Shine Juice. And I believe that it was his mentor that came up with it. The original recipe, I don't know why I remember this, but I swear the original recipe had mineral oil in it. I just looked up the recipe myself because I changed the recipe. I got to do, when I started using the friction polishes, I didn't want to deal with petroleum products. When I started turning wood, most of the stuff I would finish inside, especially during the winter, and so I had to use other finishes other than petroleum finishes because I didn't want to get stunk out of the living area. Okay, that's 220. We're going to go to 320 now. That's right over here. Yes, 320. Now with the CA finish, you can get 2,000 grit, 3,000 grit, get a really, really nice, as nice of a polish on the CA finish as you care to have. Just have to keep in mind that the coats and I normally put on, anywhere between 12 and 16 coats of thin CA glue when I'm doing a CA finish. It's still very, very thin coats, so when you're sanding that stuff, you don't want to put a lot of pressure on it because you just take that right back off and you're back down to where we started. With the friction polish, I don't have to worry about that. I really feel like I cannot get to that spot, so I'm going to move this. Whoops. Watch where that one went. Take that off. That's number 2, or 3 actually. I think we're on 3 now. Just dropped a spacer into the shavings there. Tool number 3. There we go. That's better. Now I can get to the ends. And now we'll hit it with the 400. And I'll step inside to get my fixing polish. I don't like leaving it in the garage. Anyway, back to Obi Sanjus. I looked up the recipe, and now I swear I remember that there's mineral oil in it, but you know, I can't swear that my memory is the best. But anyway, now it's denatured alcohol. I do know that in a lot of cases, they denature the alcohol with a petroleum product. So I swapped out, in the recipe that I modified it to, I swapped out the alcohol with orange oil, which is also a solvent. I missed that. There we go. Now on to 400, which I had right over here somewhere. That was 220. There it is. So, you know, if you're doing just a couple of pens or even just turning one pen, this is a quick way to get, you know, a finished piece. What are we at? So I'm into it by half an hour. I should have it done less than an hour. And that's only because I don't do them that much. Did, when I was talking about this last night, and turning a pen, it's really important to read the instructions before you get into it, before you start doing whatever, because sometimes, and I've run into it, I'm sure other people have, sometimes the instructions are not super clear. There's ambiguity here, something's not, you know, and if you have trouble with that, all the companies that sell these kits have a tech support. What happened to me, and let's see, I think it was Penn State. Yeah, it was Penn State that I got the kit from, and the instructions just, there were certain parts of the instructions that just made no sense to me, partially because the author of the piece jumped around between imperial and metric measurements. And it wasn't really clear like where he was doing that. And so I called up Penn State, and they put me in touch with their tech support guy for the pens to get the question answered. And it turns out he was the author of the paper, and he was, and I explained what my situation was, and he looked at it and he goes, "Oh, you know what? You're right. That's kind of confusing." So not only did I get my question answered, I got I'm assuming that they changed the directions to reflect, make them clearer. So you're helping other turners too when you do that. Okay, clean that off. That was my 400. And we're going to go with the friction polish. I like the smell of my friction polish. It's the orange oil is fantastic. But let's see. I can't. I don't recall if I said the whole recipe. You can look it up online. It's just type in OB Oscar Baker Shine Juice, or go to Eddie Castellan's website. I'm pretty sure it's on. Actually, I know it's on there. And it's equal parts of lacquer, denatured alcohol. Oh God, I got to look it up again. How it was done. Let's just do that really quick here. Let's open up the browser. I think I still had it even up. Do I have it up? No, I closed it. All right, so we'll just type in OB Shine Juice. And we wait. And we wait. Formula for, well, this is right off of worldwide woodturners.org. But they say it's the formula for Shine Juice by Captain Eddie Castle. Boiled linseed oil, clear shellac, and denatured alcohol. I swapped out the denatured alcohol for orange oil, which is what's floating on top here. Let's see, get this in the camera. So when it sits, it separates, right? So I've got the shellac, the orange oil, and the boiled linseed oil. And so the linseed oil, all that's kind of separated, and basically you just got to shake it all up together. And it is a friction polish, so I'm going to run this down to my slowest speed. I don't have a squeeze bottle for this, although, well, I do now. I just actually, now that I think about it, I do have one now. I just haven't swapped it over. Thank you, Joe. I could use one of those Hellman's mayonnaise dudes for this. You do have to shake this every now and then because it does want to separate out. So every once in a while, give your little squeeze bottle or whatever a shake. It probably would be, actually I know it would be easier with a squeeze bottle if I could do this with a squeeze bottle, but I'm not. So just toilet paper. I'll dip it in there. We'll coat the surface. And we'll let the friction cure it. Cures by heat. And I kind of get the idea that it's working all right when the lacquer and the shellac, when the toilet paper itself gets kind of stiff. It means it's setting up. And if I use that stiffness, that's the lacquer and stuff, to rub against the rest of the surface, the heat not only pulls some of that shellac off there to deposit on the pen body, it also helps the stuff that's on there already cure. So it's okay if this gets a little stiff. I used to turn this thing up and slow it down, and turn it up and slow it down, but at the slow speed, this is just fine. It takes a little bit longer for the heat to build up. I'm okay with that. You can see already, right from 400, I'll put a couple of coats of this on there. It builds up nicely. A nice clear coat. I may turn this up if this isn't going to set right. I can feel the heat though, so I'm thinking it's working. Take a look there. It's nice and shiny. Is it dry? Is it set? Almost. I'm going to speed the lathe up a little bit. Really polish that in there. I really want that heat to build up. There it is. Now I can feel it. And I'm only, I don't know, I'm probably turning it 600. What does it say? 800. I could actually turn it down a little bit. So now I'm running about 600, about where I was at 400 before. And this process doesn't really take all that long, just a couple of minutes to get the finish on the pen. And you can put as many coats as you want. One, none, or more. Get a new piece of toilet paper. It's very, very smooth surface too. And the lacquer and everything fills in any kind of pores. So I will do another coat. It's really making that lignovitic pop. That's nice. I like that. I think I may have to try to get some more of this and then use some antler and do a piece with that. I think that would look phenomenal. Even replace the center band with the carved antler. Yeah, that might look pretty cool. Alright, I'm going to shake this up a little bit. Get it remixed because the solids everything wants to drop out pretty quick. It is a lot easier, like I say, if you have a squeeze bottle. You can just do a couple drops, on your towel or toilet paper as you go. So I want to feel the heat, but I don't want to really get it hot, because I have noticed that I've had this happen to me where the lacquer got so hot that it melted right off and left just this mess on the surface. So just something to pay attention to. You don't want to get it burning hot while you're trying to get this stuff to set, because the lacquer itself will just heat up and become a sludge, You see some of the lacquer coming off the towel, making lines on the surface, so that tells me that it's pulling lacquer off of the towel with the heat, which is good. That's what I want. Just keep building up this layer. You know what, let's hit that one more time. Let's fold that in thirds, that away. I'll shake this up a little bit. There we go. I'm going to put the lid back on this guy because I'm going to say this is the last coat I'm going to do. Oh, that's probably a little wet. Yep. Got just a little bit too much. Ooh, but hey, now I can use this as my little dropper, right? If I can get it to squeeze out. Anyway, there's a lot of recipes online about shine juice. I know it seems to me most people just use the original recipe, but I just really want to stay away from petroleum products as much as possible. It's not just because I normally do this inside. It's part of my protest. I mean, I've got to be careful. You know, I've got to use petroleum mainly to drive my car. I just try to do it in as conscientious a way as possible and try not to use petroleum products, which is getting harder and harder by the day, to not support big oil as much as we do. Yeah, that's looking pretty nice. Is it set? I don't know that it's set. Let me run it. I'll speed it up some more. Let me run it across here. I'll let that sit for a second or two while I set this stuff aside. It's already cured and dry. But I just keep my mix in a mason jar. I'm thinking I could probably go to a smaller mason jar now, be able to reach into it better. Beep beep. But I do like the smell of orange oil, man. That makes the shop smell nice. Get these guys put away. Gotta keep that one. That one. That'll go right there. Okay. So I cannot use this as the pen press. I've got to fit everything together. Oh, what I do want to do. I do want it right there, don't I? I don't want it this way. Nope. I want it the other way. Just like that. I'm going to take just a little bit of abrasive and rough this up, this tenon up a little bit, because I believe I got a little shine juice on there. There we go. All right, let's get this guy out of here. Bring this guy up. What? Oh, I took it back inside. Of course I did. I took the glue back inside. I'm going to use medium glue on this one. It'll run a little bit better. Well, you know what? I guess it doesn't actually really matter all that much. I'm not going to use a ton of CA glue. And I am going to wipe it down before I hit it with the accelerant. So Wait for it to drip down. And put just a little bit of glue there. Yeah, I'm either going to have to thin this out or toss it out. Let's get a piece of paper towel ready. And I'll twist this on. Wipe all that down. Get all the extraneous glue out of there. There we go. Quick and easy, that's nice. And leave that for just a minute. I will, this time I won't take the glue all the way inside. I might need it for the box. Okay, so the next step will be pressing everything together. Now, they sell pen presses. And if you're doing, a bulk amount of pens, a lot of pens, I think that they would probably be a really good investment. I don't do a lot of pens, so I use my lathe as the press. And I normally will take a glue block that I have. Let's see, here's one. This will work. That's oak, so that'll work really, really well. It's got a divot for my 1/8 inch coat hanger rod to go through to find center for my glue block. I believe I have done at least 1 or 2 videos with a glue block. If not, I'll review that, but I should probably do another recent one with a glue block to explain that for those that are not familiar with it. Put all this back into its carrying case. Whoa, there it goes, but they didn't make it to the shaving, so it doesn't count. There we are. Now I can put this guy away if I remember which drawer it goes into. Not that one, I think it's this one. Nope. And it's got to be the top one. It's got to be this guy. No. I know I overlooked it the other day. Oh, that's because it was back here. Uh-oh. Got some acid brushes trying to take a walk. Okay, get that in the drawer. That's all set. So we have all of our pieces, parts here. Doggone it. I just remembered I need the live center off this guy for this to work properly. Because I'm going to use the tailstock, as I said, as my press. So I use this center hole to help center things up. Boy, man, there's still tacky stuff on there. It's picked up even more sawdust. Well, I'll just have to wipe them down. I think I'll use alcohol this time. That won't mess up my OB Shine finish. And with with these parts installed, I think it'll make it easier to deal with than trying to hold on to small parts and clean this stuff off. But I'm going to try to scrape off as much as I can with my fingernail. So that's the tip. There's these guys. Sure enough. I just don't know what that. I can only assume that this sticky, tacky surface, it was a top coat that just went bad in the packaging, so they got a bad batch. So we go back to the instructions because they often tell you the order that they want you to do these operations in. And this says we do the riding tip first. Let's get that guy. Oh, he did make it to the shavings. All right, that's number 4. Number 4. And it's a good thing I already had it all set to where it was lined up to begin with, because I've dropped these a couple times. Okay, so we want to press the riding tip in and then the twist mechanism second. So I will set this guy up to get started, and I'll just put it right in that hole to keep everything lined up and fairly straight. And I can fine tune the pressure with the quill on the tailstock to get this seated just right. Clearly a pen press is made to do this. There we go. And actually, I think, yeah, my friend Joe has one, and it's a neat little contraption. He offered to let me borrow it, but this is kind of how I've done pens, and I didn't want to have to. I wanted to be lazy and not have to learn how to use the pen just to turn 2 pens, the pen press. Okay, now it says to take the mechanism, which is this guy. Got some paper towel stuck on there. And we want to press it in brass end first. Can I go back far enough? Nope. Keeping that lined up there. Want to do my best to keep everything as straight as possible. If it goes in cockeyed, there's a possibility that it can split the brass tube. Oh, well, now that is funny. Okay, that fits on the inside, so I need another piece of wood. I thought that I did not realize that this would fit right inside there and not press. And I don't want the inside to curl in, so let me grab, stay there. Let me grab, well, that will do, I guess, but let's grab, yeah, let's grab that. So is that going to be close enough? Sure. So get it started. Now, as I go, normally there's a little indentation here at this end of the mechanism, and usually they say go to that line, but these instructions say go about 1/4 of an inch, just past that little chrome bit, and then do a test fit. So I can adjust, take my time with the tailstock. Okay, let's try that. So I'll take the refill, we'll screw that in there, and we'll see if it comes out far enough. It does not even close. I cannot even see the ball point in the bottom there. So I'm definitely going to go to that first indentation, except I'm not straight. There we go. And press that in a little bit more to right about there. Let's see what that's like. That is all the way down, and I still cannot see the ball end. Okay, so we're going a little bit deeper. Straighten all this up. Not straight. Not straight. There we go. And we'll go a little bit more. That's not right. There we go. It's still not right. I'm not getting it straight. There we go. So we'll go about that far. We want to sneak up on pressing this in because you can't get it back out. Good golly, Miss Molly. Wow. How's it look on this end? Oh, there's plenty of room. I'm surprised. So this one's going to have to go in quite a bit more. I still can't see the ball end. So that's a little bit unusual. Let's try that. I don't recall having to seat one so far, but it may have happened. Clearly this is not. That brings it out, that brings it down. Okay, I'm starting to see the ball end now. So I'm going to work it until I get when it's rotated out, not retracted. It comes out far enough to be comfortable to write with. Oh no, you're not straight. There we go. So we'll go about that far. And with the pen press, there's at least the one my friend Joe showed me. It's got these little things that go over. Golly, that didn't make it yet. Maybe I didn't press it in at all. Maybe I just thought I pressed it in a little. So we'll go about that far. Spin that all the way out. All right, so just a little bit more. I've just got the ball end out. I think that might be okay. Might be okay. Oh, looks like I lost chat for some reason. Oh, there it is. Oh gosh, yeah, boy, I lost chat for a while. First time chat. I'm gonna say that says excess. What are you making? Excess asks. A pen. I'm probably late to the program. I didn't even realize with part of my screen covered that the chat was all gone. So are they handles? No, they are. They are. It's just a pen kit. Thanks for joining, by the way. Thanks for making it out this evening. Way Cool Wood is raiding. Wow, really? Raider from Way Cool Wood. Orange Dan 76 says, "Hey Dave, hey Dan, how's it going, man? Way Cool Wood, good evening. Hey, how you doing, dude? I think you need a bigger tool rest," says TC Schmo. So Dan, I don't know if you're still with me. I'm still working my way through chat there. I decided I just thought I'd turn a couple pens. I don't have a setup like what you have, so I just have to do one at a time. But yesterday I did pen with CA finish, which actually I can go grab, and then this I did with OB Shine Juice, but with the recipe modified a little bit. I took out the denatured alcohol and use pure orange oil as the solvent for that. So that is the friction polish. First time chat from Raider, Battle Dinosaur. Hey, welcome, welcome, man. Very, very cool. Rife sucks. I made it. Super cool to catch you live, Pops. That must be my youngest boy. How you doing, man? First time chatter. Yeah, Cuff 2017. Hi. Thanks. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for coming out to the channel. I appreciate it. Just putting together a pen here, and I don't have a pen press. I don't do enough of these to have bought a pen press and then leave it sit around for however long it's going to sit around. So that comes out as far as I would like it to, and it retracts all the way, which is important. So we're good because I can't pull this back out without ruining it. So now that I've got that set, I got to put on the clip and the end cap. And again, and TC Schmo, I don't know how long you've been on, been talking about this finish that's on this thing. Really, really, really tacky. I got some goo gone to get rid of most of it, but I think I'm going to have to wipe it down with alcohol when I'm done getting all of this together. I see, that's why you say that. So this part that is already attached to the cap has to come off so that it can be seated in there properly, because and I don't know if I can get it. Let's see. Screwdriver. Where did I put the screwdriver? It's not there. The pocket clip needs to go underneath or over the insert and underneath the cap. There we go. I'll just take this one. So I have to get these two parts pulled apart because this silver part needs to get pressed in first. Yes, there we go. And right now it's on there pretty tight. If I can get it off. Now in the instructions it shows these as two separate pieces. However, wait a minute. Oh, cool. All right, my bad. It screws on. Okay, so this has got another little indentation line there, and that actually has to go inside the pen. So we'll do it that way. And with everything lined up, we'll use this same block of wood to press everything together. Let's move this further in. That's interesting. I didn't know that screwed on, so that might be a potential issue in the future. If it's not, maybe I'll put thread lock on it. Back off, man. So we'll just seat that. This needs to be flush. Pen clip goes over the top of that guy. And this screws on. So I'll put some thread lock on this a little bit later to make sure this doesn't spin out accidentally. Yeah, so that works. So the pen clip hits right where I want it to, right in the center, and this little cove with these beads will fit very, very nicely in the pocket. There we go. All right. Finish pen number 2. So now I'm going to move on to finishing that box. But Orange Dan turns a lot of pens. He's a pen turner. I know he doesn't turn just pens, but I thought you might get an appreciation of this. It's definitely different doing just one-offs with a pen than it is doing several, or even having a setup, you know, with all the tools at hand and all that. Most of this stuff since I don't turn very many pens, it stays stored away until I need it. I know where the stuff is at, but I don't have it permanently set up to do like permanently turning pens. Let's see, I'll get rid of that block of wood, put you back there, put the fist back, throw that away, and I will go and grab the other pen really quick. Or at least I was going to. Where did I put that? I said here. Yes, I did. No, wrong pen. Lights. There you are. It's so easy to lose pens. Okay, so yeah, I'm kidding. That I got from the bank today. There it is. So this was a CA finish. Come on, Dave. This was. Ooh, what was this? Was this Cocobolo? No. Yes. Okay. This was a Cocobolo offcut. No. This was rosewood. That's right. Sorry, I'll get it straight. This is a piece of rosewood that I had. It's been sitting in the shop for a while. And it was just an offcut, nasty piece that, yeah, I turned around. I had just enough of a cylinder to have wood to put the brass tubes in. And then, oh gosh, I'm not even showing these on the right camera, am I? And then this guy is just the shine juice. With a few more coats on there, you know, that would shine just as much as that does, but it's got a sheen to it. I don't really want it to be shiny. But there they are. There's 2 pens, and that was fun. Cool. That was groovy. Hopefully I answered the questions you may have had, or covered enough of the territory to get your feet wet, get you a better idea of what it's like to turn pens. It doesn't matter what size lathe you have. I know they make you know, specific lathe, benchtop lathes specifically for turning smaller things like that, pens. And I happened to look, I talked about it earlier in the broadcast. I was looking at what was I looking at? I got a letter or an email from Craft Supply, and they're having their what they call annual Black Friday sale. So I'm like, all right, I'll look at it. You know, I'm probably not going to buy anything, but I'll look at it. And got wandered around to see, you know, what the chuck I bought from them cost nowadays. And I bought this this Chuck System Barracuda 2 for $100 6-7 years ago. And I bought the second set because what was the reason? Oh, I needed more jaws. And the last two, okay, this chuck here is only 4 years old. The first ones I bought 8 years ago, and they lasted about 4 years. I had to replace them. They changed the jaw configuration a little bit, which is unfortunate because I was excited about having spare jaws for both, but they've changed the design a little bit. But the second set I bought cost about 110, and now they're about 160, 170. So it's not bad to get. It's an okay chuck. It's not terrible. It's great to start with. I still use them. I prefer my Vic Mark, but I can't always use it. Sometimes I'll get pieces in between sizes or whatever, and that's a huge drag. So it is nice to have more than one chuck. If I had lots of money, I'd have several chucks that I would never have to change jaws on again. In theory, I don't know if that would actually work out in real life, but in theory, that's what I think about. I know Jim Scarcella, who's well, he's a member of our training club here. Very good intern for I don't know, like 30 years, I think. But he was also art director for Aramont, and so he's been around the block. And he's got several chucks on the wall, hanging on the wall, all ready to go. It's like, yeah, that's the setup right there. All right, what are we doing on time here? 20 after 10. Well, alrighty then. We might just do the piercing of this dude. So that does fit. Seats all the way down. Almost. I'd have to work that out a little bit. I think that was the right. That may not even be the right. No, it's not. It's not the right line. I'm not looking at the right line. Let's grab a pencil, which I had, and then probably threw onto the floor. So I'll grab another pencil over here, and we'll mark this guy. I had intended on running wire wheel across this, and then blowing all the dust out just to have. So right there, so it does seat all the way, so that's good. It's my inner sleeve of the box. That's awesome. I think I will go ahead and glue this, but I think I'll do that with wood glue, and then I'll clamp it with. Well, I don't know if a clothespin will work on that one, but we'll try it. So I left this on the piece last night. This is the outer sleeve for the box. And I did that so that I could do the piercing and have not just hold this. I've got the whole thing, the third hand right here, if you will. So I'm going to grab the drum. Oh, no, wait. Can I use my... If I can get my... I can use my dental tool, actually. I think. And it will burn the inside edge, but that'll be fine. Let's see, where do I have that? That's downstairs. You know what? Let's not grab. Let's go ahead and turn an end cap for this guy. The cap has to be able to take on both sleeves. My tenon for the end cap will have to fit just inside the wall here on the bottom. And then this, all these worm trails and holes and stuff will show through the piercings that I make, which I'm going to use my dental tool to do. So I'm going to make the cap and then fit all this together. And that will probably take us to the end of the broadcast. So I don't have, is that even wide enough? No, this is not going to be wide enough. So I don't have any more timber like this, but what I do have is a really nice piece of cherry that will be the bottom of my box. And this guy I'll use a different chuck for, so I don't have to I can take this guy out. I will. I've got it marked. It should be really close to running through when I put it back on. So we'll just set this dude in here. I was going to use one of the Barracuda chucks, but hey, we're right here, right? And I like this chuck. Rotate my center rest. Yeah, I'm going to keep that. Actually, no, I don't. Oh, yes, no, I don't. Make up my mind. Okay, because it's got the collar, I'll keep it. I want to raise that up a bit more. And I'm going to start working that diameter. So if I take my calipers, get that outside diameter a little bit wider. Nope, 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 nope. A little bit narrower than that. So I can sneak up on the fit. You've never seen this done. Basically, I'm scribing a line with the points that's closest to me, never touching that point to the wood. I just want to see that it's going to meet. And you got to do this basically at center so that you get a good read on your calipers. Don't touch that point, because if it grabs, it's going to try to flip this whole thing over and cause you some problems. So just touch the point that is closest to you, and you can bring that close to the surface of the wood to see where it's going to meet, but don't touch that to the wood. And I want to be closer. Okay, you don't need that guy. I'm going to grab my box tool. I'm going to have to figure out. That's really cool, man. I got to figure out how. I think if I do a raid, like I take everybody that's on my channel to another channel, or I go to another channel, and then the people that are in my chat, I guess are along for the ride. I'm not sure, but I do need to figure that out, because that's really cool. I appreciate you guys stopping in, man. That's awesome. Okay, I need to go a little bit wider than that, but like I said, I wanted to sneak up on it. And I don't think that is deep enough yet. A little bit of a curved bottom. It's close. I probably will say that a lot. I want to talk about this tool a little bit. This used to be a spindle gouge. I got to the end of the flute there, couldn't sharpen it anymore. All this was too short in the handle. So what I did was I ground it all flat down to the bottom of the flute. So it gave me a flat surface here, and it gives me a rounded surface on the bottom. So I can get straight walls when I'm going in there, and I have a scraper here and a scraper here. So I can sneak up on the sizing by pulling the tool this way because the scraper's on the side. Not quite. Really handy way to extend the life of your tool steel. Not quite. Because these tools are spendy, man. I don't really need to turn this fast. Alright, that's a little too snug. Yep, just a little bit. This is going to get glued together. So I don't want to make a joint that I'm going to starve the glue out of, but I want to have a good... That's just a little too narrow. But hey man, when you're sneaking up on it, that's what it is. A little bit at a time. There we go. That's the fit I want. Very cool. Alright, so that bit is finished. Don't go there. This will be the outside of that. So that fits in there. This is going to sit right on that cap. So what I want to do is make a spot for that. Let's see, let's grab those calipers again. Go to the outside of this. That's a little bit too much. And we'll have to sneak up on this one too. That's about right. And we'll spread that line. Yeah, got right on the first time. Cool. So I think I will use my parting tool for that. No, I use my box tool for that. That's silly. Alright, this rounded edge here, the chips that come out just go right past it. They don't get hung up. It's very, very nice. And that one does not have to sit in very deep. I'm only close. probably take it about half the depth of the other step down. Still got more to go. I don't know if this is, I mean, this is a great way to use up scrap. How did I get that? That's awesome. All right, so that is the fit I want. I'm going to hold that there because I'm sure I had a pencil at one point. And I'm going to give myself a bit of a pencil line border, which I can sand away or erase if it will erase off the cedar, to give me my lower edge of where my piercings are going to be. Come on. So I stay inside of that line there. So that's my lower cap. Now I can take this dude out. Let's clean that up though. I'll chamfer these edges just a little bit on these steps here. Make it easier to get things in there. And while I'm at it, I should look at something else. I think I'm going to need to adjust the inside of the bottom here. So let's set that aside and grab this, excuse me, this dude. And that puts me right there. Okay. So I have just a little bit more to take out so that the bottom curve meets that bottom of that box. So right and then I'll take my spindle gouge. It's not quite a round bottom, but we'll get there. Get that out of the way. Perfect. So now when that inner sleeve fits in there in this bottom step, that wall will just come right up to meet it. And I will also take the opportunity to grab my negative rate scraper here. Smooth that out, no sanding necessary. So now I got to match this because I think if I can do it, this was the lid that I had originally turned. So if I can do it, I want these to match. I don't know. I can take some of the tenon off and still have enough tenon here. Oh, geez, I've got the camera pointed in the doggone wrong direction, don't I? Right at my face, and I'm not even looking at the camera. Isn't that awesome? Okay. So when I made this tenon, and we can just swap cameras. I made it a little thick because this is red cedar, but I can trim a little bit of that off so it will still fit inside. So if I can use this, if I don't change my mind, then this I want at least to look like it's part of the whole thing, like it should match. And that is the inner sleeve, so I've got way too much material here. So let's backtrack a little bit and take some of this off. Oh, we'll go to an angle. There we go. Squeak! I think I'll take and make this a wing like that one. Yeah, let's do that. Because I do have an outer wing on this lid. Wrong direction. We want to go with the grain, not against it. Where it's supported. Got the right thickness. That gets me there. Let's see. Let's get rid of some of this material. Now, if I had not misplaced my 220 here. I'm sure I can get this from the other side with the jaws in expansion mode, but since it's sticking out here and relatively easy to get to, I'll just do it now. Okay, who's got the key? Do I need to mark this? I should probably mark this just in case. And we'll go, I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom step here. That'll give me 3/8 wall thickness to push against. I'm really not a fan of, my least favorite way to hold on to things is expansion mode. Where's my mark? There's my mark. You definitely want to have enough material to push back against because it's trying to spread out. I want to have that strength, and that 3/8 wall thickness with this piece of cherry should be good enough. Not sure what I'm going to do with this part yet. So I want my wing, so that's going to have to come out about that far-ish. Excuse me. Woo! Wow. Pick up the cut there. Finish my wing. And then just work on matching the shape. nice curve. I want it any taller than that, but I want it just to sit directly on the bottom. I think I'm going to take it down to right there. And the inside of the bottom is right about there. So a little concave surface, I'm not going into the bottom. Now I believe I'm going to put some beads on that too. Before I do though, I want to take, I'm going to use my skew as a negative rake scraper. Take this curve down where I can't get my gouge into. Following the grain where it has support. Bring that up. Carry that curve down where it actually is. And what the heck, let's go with a negative rake scraper all the way through. Very light touch. At this point, I think I'll run a little bit of abrasive over this before, no I won't. I should be able to cut this just fine and leave a really nice surface off my tool, we'll see. Take this down a little bit more. I don't want my foot to be too large. And then we will, that's the end of the road over this way. And then we'll put a little detail mark on the bottom. Because I like to. And you know what, I think I will. I think I'll just hit this really quick. I had a really good finish off the tool, so it won't take long. We're doing on time, 15 minutes left. This guy. And I'll need to do, it looks like I'll be doing an assembly video, which will be pretty fun. I did one of those already. It's cool to show how it goes together. But I like this idea because, and I've been doing a series of these boxes, this is the third, to explore like all the, you know, a bunch of different things about it, because I really like the idea and I want to see how far, you know, where I can take it. And you know, change it up. There's all kinds of designs out there and all kinds of different people. This was just my take. And since I'm this far with it, let's go ahead and sign some papers. I cannot sign some papers. Why will you not sign the papers, old man? because you cut off my hand. Sorry, Cheech and Chong reference. Cheech and Chong reference. Okay, so we got that far. Let's just do a little quick clean up of that, and then we'll turn these beads. Now these are fairly wide, so I think I'll get 2 beads out of that. Or rather, well, it'll be 3 beads, but 2 lines. And I want to go, again, where the wood is supported. When I make these beads, my tool has to be 90 degrees to whatever surface I'm on. And we won't take that one so very deep. And that's why you don't go backwards against the grain. Got a bit of a catch, but I just cleaned it up. And then I think I'll finish this guy off here. Just give it a little bit of a rounded shape at the very base. And I was wrong. I'll have to put a little bit of abrasive on this. Ooh, maybe I call them patchwork boxes because it's just, yeah, maybe I'll do that. And I'll just create, I think I will. Just create a patchwork box. Be an excuse to use up all of the wood scraps that I held on to because I'm a wood hoarder. Right up there, right edge up. Awesome. There we go. Find a good bit on the abrasive. It still has abrasive left. It's not there. You know what? Let's just dispense with that guy and go with the paper. And get right up on the edge. Without sanding the other side. I could use a little touch up right there. I guess I probably could have slowed the lathe down, but it's not turning very fast as it is. And that's the bottom cap. No, I don't like that. I think I'm going to clean that up really quick. Let's expose some more abrasive that has not been used yet. Cherry's kind of funny, man, in my opinion. Like, if you leave any tool mark, it'll definitely show on cherry. I'm going to be really careful with that on this stuff, I believe. There we go. All right, so that is now the finished bottom cap. Let's get the key. And it survived the expansion hold. So once those are have finish on them and stuff, though, I think they will match pretty well. Let's see. So we know that that guy fits in there. This guy will fit right in there. I like that fit. That is a nice fit. That will be the bottom, the outside of the box, piercing. The other stuff will show through, and then that will be the lid, unless I change my mind on the lid. If I can find another piece of cherry, I will probably use that as the lid. But I may not. I don't think I've got another piece of cherry like this. I might have some green stuff, but the green stuff isn't going to help me. Not for a while. And I don't have any that's that color anyway, I think. I've got some. What do I got here? Yeah, that won't be wide enough. An old post from an old poster bed. Really old. It was in a farmhouse, and a guy I knew gave me some of it. Actually, let me take all the posts. I didn't get a whole lot of wood out of them because on a couple of the posts, like you can see here, termite damage. There's no termites in there now. They vacated the area, I don't know, some time ago. When I broke it open, there's no nest or anything in there when I cut into other pieces, but it has this these galleries, ant galleries, inside the cherry. So using this for like resin projects and stuff like that. I think it's pretty cool. All right, let's go back to the manual. We're on the main camera. We'll come back here. Do something with that guy. Okay, so now there's a face to it. Hi, my name's Dave. I'm a wood turner. I started this channel to become a better teacher and a better demonstrator, better turner. I'm always trying to be, I want to be the best turner I can be. So I'm always exploring things. I'm always watching people, asking questions, taking classes, that kind of thing. And I really like to teach. So I really enjoy helping other turners bump up their tool skills. The biggest secret sauce for turning is practice. Practice. And I have gotten the distinctly pleasurable and lucky opportunity to be able to do this pretty much when I want. I started turning as therapy for PTSD, so I did a lot of turning late at night, early mornings when I couldn't sleep, stuff like that, and then it kind of just blended into, I kind of stay up till 3 or 4 in the morning now, and on the warm days, I'm usually turning. On the cold days, I'm usually not, but on the colder days, I don't stay up so late either, so it's kind of, it might be a little bit of a seasonal thing, maybe, or maybe I'm hibernating a little bit more in the wintertime, like most other people, getting a little bit more sleep. I don't know. During the summer, I don't get a whole lot of sleep. There are, oh gosh, man, how many hours of daylight up here? Geez, I don't know. 16 hours of daylight in summer, something like that. It's great. It's awesome. When the sun sets at 10:30, 11 at night. Freaking great. But anyway, it kind of blended into that, and now I'm working on turning it into a career and demonstrating, teaching our career. It's just a there's a huge wide world out there for wood turning. Every voice, I think, has a say and is valid. Everybody's got a different take and perspective on what is art and all that. Everybody has a different voice when they're creating their art. So I want to extend as much welcome as possible to people who are considering wood turning or are wood turning, either they're new or not new to wood turning, because I think it is, for the most part, a really nice community of people. Um, and everybody that I've worked with, at least almost everybody, there's been, I mean, there's always got to be one, right? But there just, I think there's only probably just been one person that I wouldn't hang around and turn with. Um, yeah. But anyway, I really enjoy watching the process. I try to explain my process as much as possible for those who do the same thing. For me, it's not so important what's being turned. It's the aspects of it, the process of it, how you get to where you're going, and all that kind of thing. That's the kind of stuff that makes me interested. So I appreciate y'all for coming out this evening. It's very, very cool that you popped in with a raid too. Thanks a lot, Dan. Appreciate that. Um, as soon as I get that figured out, I think, and and I got to pay attention. I got to figure out everybody's schedules too, because I think I'm usually one of the later ones out of all the people that I follow. So it'd be hard to do a raid, but I'll double check. I need to double check schedules for other people, and then I can figure out if I can do that. I think Michigan Viking might do some late sometimes too, and I could raid him. So anyway, thanks again for the raid. I appreciate it. Thanks for joining me on Wood Turning Wednesday. I'll be back again next Tuesday and Wednesday, 8 to 11 Eastern Standard Time. Twitch Tuesday, Wood Turning Wednesday, man. That's what I'm calling it. I have a good time with it. So hope you stay friendly. Thanks for joining me this evening. Hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm going to call it. So good night, folks. Thanks again. Hoping to see you next week. Take care.